Hello everyone, my name is Bill. Welcome back to my channel. This video is an update on my Sunday campaign. The party was down one party member. He had been exposed to COVID, so he took the weekend off just to play it safe. The party, the members that were there, they still were in the mine, so they were trying to figure out what to do to keep exploring the mine. And then one of the players that didn't make it the previous game was playing now, so he was trying to play a little bit of catch up on getting caught up what's going on. But once that was all settled down, the party then had two different groups. There was a group that could breathe water for so many hours. I think it was like 6. Was the main character that could explore, and then the other one could breathe water for 3. But his character was the player that didn't show up. So the one that could breathe 6 decided to explore. He went into a level of the mine that had a lot of interesting life living in sections of it. As he explored, he found different interesting rooms and old abandoned equipment and wooden structures that have been underwater and rotting, or at least some of it's been rotting. He eventually finds a couple of things that could have fought him, and he lucked out on either not being seen or not provoking them. He even discovered essentially a cave that connects to the ocean, and inside it was tiger sharks. He didn't see where it connects to the ocean, but that's pretty much how they got in. And they were in there pretty much asleep in the current. He explored, I want to say 2/3 of the level of the mine that he went into. And then he retreated. After he retreated, I had the effects of the water breathing wear off, since he didn't know how much time had passed. The rest of the party starts exploring, and they encounter essentially some ghosts, or at least some haunting areas. The ranger interacts with it a little bit, but then finds an actual creature. The creature attacks. The creature doesn't do a lot of damage, but on its retreat, it breathed a poisonous gas. And then the ranger, failed his save. And after failing his save, he then had 5 more saves to make. And each time he failed, he took I believe it was a D6 strength damage. And he ended up at the end of it going from a strength of 26 to a strength of 7. So the more powerful items he was wielding became, combat-wise, a little useless until he recovers. That said, his recovery can be pretty quick with the right spells and with just resting. So the party has a lot of options on that end going on. The ranger retreats, and then the druid joins the gargoyle that's exploring. And that gargoyle was the one that upsetted Poseidon. They explore, and they encounter a few more interesting effects going on. The walls bleeding, and such. Well, in their joking around, messing with each other, the druid jumped on the gargoyle's back, and then he threw the druid into the wall, thinking that the druid turned to dust by hitting the wall because of his low intellect. The druid passed through the wall in a section that was just an illusionary wall and entered a chamber. He's sitting in front of a mirror. There's a bed, and there's a pedestal with a book on it. A ghost comes out of the mirror and interacts with him. The gargoyle comes into the room after being told about the room and messes with the book after the druid detected that the book was magical. And the book ends up sucking the gargoyle into it. The druid picked the book up and is carrying that, trying to figure out how to get the gargoyle out. That's the events that had happened. Even though it took hardly any time to explain it, it took us a lot longer to play it as they were trying to go carefully through the corridors. And this is the second episode of The Mines. So, until we play again.